Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the New England Patriots. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's a site that has seen more than its fair share of great playoff memories the last few decades, and more could be in store as we've got playoff football again at sold-out Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Oakland Raiders and the New England Patriots. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest. You'll take the week off. Get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
The thing I like most about Derek Carr's game is not just the right arm and his touch and his ability to find receivers. I think it's his calmness, and I think that transmits itself very well to the rest of the team. They feed off of that, and they go out and play with confidence.
Carr now on first down. Now this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Carr now to throw. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time it's a sack.
And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Carr. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. And all the pressure that goes on in these playoffs, but the first score here in the divisional round always very key.
Partner, this team handled it like it was a regular season game, that they were confident in what they were doing, came right out and established themselves early.
Point after try forthcoming. he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're forced to play catch-up early in this division round game as they search for a seat in the AFC Championship round. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, but now it's 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. This is taken at the 18. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. So here are the Patriots now in excellent field position to start things out. They'll be led out by their quarterback at 6'2" out of Auburn. It's Jarrett Stidham.
Ready. 48 months. Here we go. Shoot.
Sony Michel, his first carry. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, 42 yards. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
seconds and I got a touchdown.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And quickly, let's check out the New England defense.
Dante Hightower is a guy who can play the run with the best of anyone in the league, but he'll fool you a little bit in pass coverage. Not so bad there as well.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And he fields it cleanly. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Stidham. Flush to his right. He's going to take a shot right. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. N'Keal Harry, 32 yards. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of 2 ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And work with me here. Is this overhyped or not? You've got a warm weather team on the road in January, and it's cold. What's the deal? Is that a factor or is it not a factor?
I think a lot of it depends on the personality of your head coach and how you prepare for things. And some things you just can't prepare for. If you're coming from a warm weather site, you can't make it cold enough like it is here in this ball game. But what you can do is just tell the guys, dress for the weather, and then play like we always play. And as the game goes along, typically those guys out there playing, you warm up enough that it really shouldn't affect you quite the same way. Now, if that's all you talk about, if you put that in the heads of your players, it'll affect them in a big way.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
An excellent year, obviously, because they got the open week, had the bye. But the one thing you always worry about, the rust factor. And I had a coach say to me one time, when you have that open week, you often think about scrimmaging so you're ready to go the next week, but you know you can't. So you cross your fingers and hope your guys are ready to roll.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. 30, the 20, 10, 5. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong colored jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision, right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talking about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at the snapshots. Now you look at the Microsoft Surface Pro. He's got to analyze what he's seeing and be more accurate with the ball.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Carr over the middle, and it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very...
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Carr. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Carr. The pass complete to Hakeem Butler. Just 3 catches in the wild card victory for him a week ago, and now he's got his first here, and it's good for a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Check. Mike 51.
On 2nd and 12, Carr throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm coming back.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Gay's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Take them from the touchdown, though.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterbacks.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Basically, he scored a touchdown every time he ran except for one. And he's already at 180 yards. Damn.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Tyrell Williams heading back out onto the field now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On second down, it's Jacobs. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Raiders on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It's taken to the 26. Fights through, and now a crease. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about them just taking it big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Michelle. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 3rd down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7.
Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the run. There it goes.
On 3rd down, Stidham. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That's good for a 1st down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
Ready.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Right here. Ready.
On 1st down, Stidham. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Off the draw, here's Michelle. He can't get him down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 at a New England 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Let's go. 60 outlaw. We got it.
Stidham 1st down in the red zone. Being chased out. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Stidham to throw. He'll run it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable 3rd down. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Stidham forced out to his left. He's got Lacoste as tight end. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriots score. Sony Michel on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on.
Brandon, he's on his way to a big day. He's punched in a couple already, and you know he's seeking more.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Operating from the gun, Carr. This is Butler making the catch. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is fielded at the 27. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though, so maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, he wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if, in fact, they do go on and get that done. But the bottom line is finding a way to win the game. So if you're not playing that well, but somebody else is on the team, keep going to that hot hand.
Yeah, not over yet, but looking good here in the 2nd quarter. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Stidham. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Here we go. 50, plant. 54, line 54. Hey, man.
They go play action now. Stidham under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A safety with a sack there. LaMarcus Joyner.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we get to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
So the Patriot offense stays out there, and they'll line up and go for two. Now Stidham on the move, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tried to roll out and make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it down.
Receivers to operate, and down there is really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line. Rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
We'll see if he can look and do some soul searching now. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw, it's Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Carr. And that will be incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Taken from just outside the 30. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. That punt returns 69 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
And as soon as they hand a rookie his playbook, they say you better make your mark on special teams if you want to hang around. I'd say returning one for a touchdown will definitely leave a memory.
Yeah, that's a pretty indelible mark here early on in his career. Now the try here for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game, probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. The intended receiver that time was Josh Jacobs. That'll bring up second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for Oakland. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this will be taken at the 13. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Patriots take over. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. 2nd and 10 now. Stidham buying time to his left. That's caught by the tight end Lacoste. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. Now it's Stidham. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, they run with Michel. And some room to maneuver. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Sony Michel, 54 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it. Have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
And as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So it's on to halftime of this AFC divisional round matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. We've already punched 2 tickets to the championship round this weekend. We'll get back to you guys and punch a 3rd in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's AFC divisional round game. And it was the LA Chargers who will continue on in the playoffs as they were able to knock out the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, in our game, we've got 1 half remaining to find out who goes on to the AFC title game. And to bring it all to you, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this. Time. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were...
And this is caught at the 20. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. N'Keal Harry. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far as his guys continue to pour it on.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed did they earn throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. It's his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
In your face.
Now Carr. His throw incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for Oakland. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that is very well done there. This will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Now, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go. Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one goal. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 30, 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Sony Michel 97 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for a trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance. And I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Carr going to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
That's his 3rd pick, I believe. Alright. So 2 interceptions. And 1 touchdown. Who's the other one?
Let's go. 18 Gator. 54. Mike, 54. On the ball, on the ball, on the ball, on the ball. Five.
On first down, Michelle. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
On the set. Mike, you gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares.
Keeping it on the ground on first, Michelle. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played with responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
That was really well done right there. That almost looked like a training camp drill. Able to get outside of the pocket, kept his eyes downfield, and found his tight end for a nice first down. Much more difficult play than maybe he made it look.
They come out here in the eye.
You're trash, you're trash.
Trying to pound it in here with Michelle. And he keeps fighting his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Now for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
On first down, Carr, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Hakeem Butler there, and that'll bring up second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. And his throw here's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Carr to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Duke Dawson picks it, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And now out come the Patriots. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. 22 yards there, a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down. They'll run on first down. Michel, and he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he'll complete this one to Barrios. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Partner, this running back's having a heck of a day on the ground. He just keeps punching it in and rushing for touchdown after touchdown.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. That time a 6-play drive. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Let's go,
The
boys.
field
Bring it
position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They begin with Michel on the ground. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
23 yards to pick up there.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
2nd and 11. Dancing to his left. And he's going to have the hook up to Izzo. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run out of the gun with Michel. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Sony Michel, 32 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point attempt to come here. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Raiders. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
From midfield, here's Carr. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas. All game. Woo! Let's get it.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Carr to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
To throw is Carr, and they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, it's Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown's going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, but there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now, to be frank, a silly penalty there trying to block the field goal, and that leads to a fresh set of downs. Now, Carr again. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Point after here coming up. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Cody Latimer, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Carr. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Oakland. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And we'll see what he can do on the return. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one goes for 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. They go play action here on 1st down. The quick slant caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
So the Patriot offense stays out there, and they'll line up and go for two. They'll run for it with Michelle. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on two more. Needed a couple yards for the two-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass, so you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Let's go.
Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Carr now to throw. It's caught by Jackson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Carr. He'll hit Jackson. Complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
I know you feel down. 180. We're good. 180.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And down he goes. A coverage sack. Took too long to get rid of it. John Simon in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Oakland. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
15 line. See, we got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Converge. Get it.
On second down now, Michelle. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Patriots send out their punter. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line.
Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10 at their own 37. On the ground is Michelle. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Again, it's Michelle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, first and 10. A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
25 yards there on the catch and run.
Let's go, baby.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10.
Ready.
They'll run it. This is Michelle. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
8, read.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Tight end right. Tight end right. Snap.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Back to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Here's the fullback, Devlin. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Carr to throw for it on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.